Lead management is like baking cookies. Stay with me now. You can't just throw all your ingredients into the oven and expect cookies to magically come out. You have to follow the right steps to create cookie dough and then bake that dough at the right temperature and for the right amount of time to get cookies, at least if you want edible ones. With customers, you can't just put your products or services up on your website and magically drive sales. First, you have to use a variety of marketing and sales ingredients to earn leads. Leads being people who have an interest in your business but aren't ready to buy yet. And then it's a matter of turning those leads into customers. Earning leads is an essential step in the recipe for earning customers, which is why it's so important to manage them effectively. But what does good lead management look like? How can you get leads and turn those leads into sales? That's just the question I'm here to answer today. Before we go on, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you're interested in seeing more helpful marketing content like this. Now let's dive in. To manage your leads, you'll want to follow a series of 6 steps. The first step on the list is lead generation. This describes the process of drawing in fresh leads with your marketing. Lead generation uses a number of marketing tactics, like creating engaging content on your website to draw in users who are interested in certain topics. If you do lead generation right, you'll be able to draw a lot of traffic to your website. Of course, just because someone visits your site doesn't mean they're automatically a lead. That's where the next step of the lead management process comes into play. Lead capturing typically happens on your website. After you've drawn users in, you can present them with something like an email sign-up form where they can give you their contact info. If someone is interested enough in your services or products to do that, it means they're a lead. Once someone becomes a lead, you'll want to start keeping up with all the interactions they have with your brand. That's called lead tracking, and it's the next step in the lead management process. By tracking the way your leads behave on your site and interact with your marketing, you can get a better idea of who they are and how best to convert them. There are lots of lead tracking tools you can use to do this, but the best ones to use are customer relationship management or CRM platforms, like Nutshell. That brings us to the next step, lead qualification. When you qualify leads, it means you certify that they're good options for your marketing and sales teams to target. Sometimes you might find leads who don't seem as interested in your business, or who just aren't the best fit for you. Those leads would probably not be qualified. Marketing to them heavily would not be the best way to use your resources. To qualify your leads, you can use lead scoring. That's where, based on the data you gather from your lead tracking, you assign each lead a numeric value that represents how likely they are to convert. The longer you have lead tracking in place, the more accurate your data is and the better your predictions will become. Once you've scored your leads, you can then start to target the ones with the highest scores. You want a lead scoring tool to help you crunch the numbers. It will be a lot to handle on your own. That takes us into the next step, lead distribution, which is where you assign each of your leads to specific sales representatives. There are different ways you can handle this. Maybe you assign leads evenly to everyone, just rotating through all of your sales reps. Maybe you have specific reps assigned to handle leads from specific groups, or maybe you do it some other way. That's all up to you. The point is to have some kind of system in place that lets you assign leads without your sales reps having to fight it out each time a new one comes through. You can use a CRM to help you automate this process for you. Once you've distributed your leads, you finally reach the last step in the lead management process, lead nurturing. This is where your sales reps, sell your products or services to your leads. Ideally, this step of the process ends with your leads turning into customers. So, now you know the steps that go into lead management. We're not done yet though. Now I'm going to give you some basic lead management best practices to keep in mind as you do all of this. The first tip is to keep nurturing leads even once it seems like they've finished going through the lead nurturing step. Maybe a lead went through your sales team, but then went cold and never finished converting. In that case, you can reach out to them again to see about reigniting their interest. Or maybe you converted a lead into a customer. Great. Now, do you want them to stay a customer? Yes, you do. Then make sure to keep nurturing them so they'll continue to buy from you. That's known as customer retention. Of course, you want to make sure not to go too hard with this, or you'll just end up pushing people away. You've probably encountered companies before that won't stop pestering you. Don't be one of those companies. Second, make sure your marketing and sales teams are on the same page. Both teams are involved in the lead management process, so it's important that they be in sync. Sales needs to communicate to marketing what kinds of leads they're looking for, And when marketing gives a new lead to sales, they need to update them on all the interactions they've had with that lead. Tip number 3. Clean all of your lead data before you use it. What does that mean exactly? Well, first you grab a sponge. No, I'm just kidding. When you clean data, it means you go through your data sets looking for any inaccurate or redundant data. When you find any, remove it so it doesn't mess up your lead analytics. That will make your lead management a lot more effective. For our 4th tip, I recommend automating your lead management as much as you can. Again, tools like CRMs can help a ton with this. You can automate email campaigns, lead tracking, lead scoring, and more. The more you automate, the less time consuming it'll be for you. That means you can move leads through the sales funnel more quickly. Finally, it's vital that you monitor and refine your lead management strategy over time. Track the results of your campaigns to see what methods are the most effective and which ones need work. Then re-optimize your lead management based on what you learn. Over time, it should become more and more streamlined. Well, there you go. Now you know how to manage your leads effectively and earn more dough. And by dough, I mean revenue. Revenue that you can use to buy cookie dough. Or other things, I guess. If you want to learn more about digital marketing and lead management, be sure to subscribe and check out some of the other videos on our channel. Thanks so much for watching. Best of luck with your cookie baking and lead managing, and I'll see you next time.